Hey, welcome to another amazing episode of testing kayaks with Aliex. Today we have the NK300 on the back, which you could save 10% off this motor and battery if you buy from Newport by using coupon code ALIEX180. I recommend Amped Outdoors lithium batteries, and you should get that. That's what I'm using here in the back. Amped Outdoors is amazing. Use coupon code ALIEX5 for Amped Outdoors so you can save 5% and also help the channel. But I want you to buy whatever you think is best for you. Here we got the NK300 on the NuCanoe U10, unlimited 10, and I'm super excited about this setup because it just works. It literally took me 1 second to put it together after the initial setup. And if you want to see how you can install this motor on this kayak from the beginning to the end, watch my first video with NK180 Professional on this boat. It's going to show you everything you need to know how to install this on the U10. I've been doing some routes here and I'm liking this a lot. It's super fast, but I don't know how fast it is yet. We're gonna have to test that out. I was saying that the Amped Outdoors is on the back. It's actually in the front. 60 hours, 36 volt Amped Outdoors. It's about 45 pounds or something like that. 40. But it's totally worth every single ounce, and let me tell you, that battery hasn't any of the Amped Outdoors lithium battery, they haven't failed me at all. So this battery here is able to power that motor for over 2 hours non-stop basically, and that will be 12 miles. But if you bring it down to like 40% power or less, let's say 25% power, you're gonna be able to go for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I actually done the 7 miles bridge twice, fish all alone 40 miles with that battery and that motor, and I always had leftover power, like over 50% or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but it was something on those lines. Okay, let's go ahead and install the NK unit right here. NK300, just need a little pin. It's gonna go through here. Let me do it from the other side, it will be easier. There you go. That's connected. Let's go ahead and connect the motor, and let's connect the power cable, the throttle cable. All right guys, we're about to launch the U10 NuCanoe Unlimited 10 with the heavy motor on the back. As you can tell, this cable here doesn't like quite holds it down properly. Like, yeah, maybe too heavy for it. I mean, it's out of the water right there, sort of. Let me see if I could. The cool thing about this is that this thing kick up, so you should be fine. But this mechanism here is a capacity. What I would do is I would just put a thicker rope in the whole system, so I'm able to like bring it up easier, because that one is too thin for it. Let's go ahead and release the motor, put power, and let's see if we're able to get out of here. Oh wow, so hot. That was so easy. The setup itself is so nice. It's plug and play basically. After you do the initial install, it's basically a pin that we just hold the motor, and this thing here, it needs to be stronger though. That's the only thing about it. Gonna do a quick turn here. See what I had to do there? Sometimes it gets stuck. Like when you're putting so much power on it, like you won't be able to turn like that when it, like, for example, if you're managing right now, you could turn no problem. Like I could do a U-turn right here. Give me a second. See, I could do a U-turn right here. That's no problem. And now I could like ride the boat up, right? Wow, it's a lot of weight. We hit our own weight. But the problem is when you have this kind of, you put 100% power on this thing, And let's say you make a turn like this. It's basically on a circle. Let's give it another one on a circle, right? And you want to turn left, like it's difficult. You could do it, but the problem is eventually you might be in rough waters that you won't be able to actually turn it like that. So what I always do when it gets stuck, I just lower the speed down a little bit so there's not a lot of pressure on that motor, and then you're gonna be able to turn no problem. Okay, finally it got stuck. Okay, it got stuck. It's hard to ride the boat, so I'm gonna slow down right now, and see, it became so much easier to ride the boat up. Let me go ahead and get my Boaters app from Navionics so I could test the speed of this craft right here. So I'm just gonna go down to 25% power. All right, so one thing with this with this throttle is that you could go from 0% to 100%. Right now I have it at 25% power, pushing at 169 watts, and that's good enough for 3.5 miles an hour. 25% power, 3.5 miles. Like, dude, you could go on this battery for days. Literally, like, it's like 50 miles that you could go, more or less, give or take, depending on conditions and body weight and all the stuff. Let's say 40, right? The heaviest person says 40 miles. That's a lot. Like, nobody goes 40. You shouldn't go out 40 miles on a kayak, or 20, you know, 20 divided by 2. You shouldn't, because you're just asking for trouble. So I'm super happy about that. Let's go ahead all the way to 50% power right there. And one thing with this throttle is that you go from 0 to 100 in such a little space that it could throw you off the boat easily. So be careful when you do that. 4.6 miles, my God. 4.5, what am I saying? I don't know. 4.5, 4.7 miles an hour at just 50% power, give or take. It says 49. We're pushing 458 watts. And that is a respectable number. Wow. Now let's say I just want to, you know, be happy about, I don't know what the heck I'm saying, but let's say I want to be happy about going fast and elevating the speed, pushing to 75% power, dudes. You can see that we're pushing more waters. We can see that the bow of the boat is a little lifted, and we're going at 5.2 miles an hour. That is mighty efficient. Incredible. Let's see how we turn at 75% power, 5.2 miles an hour. See, it gets stuck a little bit. It got stuck again because we're steering by wire here, but I think I could stock it. Yeah, I could. Yeah. And by stock, I mean, I don't mean like it's there that you won't be able to move. It's just that it's harder. And the problem with that is, yes, you could push, but the more you do that, the more pressure you're gonna put on it, and eventually it's gonna break. So the best thing to do is just slow down and turn. I'm doing a test here, so I'm not slowing down. Now, I wanna see what the maximum speed is, and then I wanna restrain my steps, my speed steps, to see what is the sweet spot, right? Somebody said about if you have the 2 feet, then it will be hands-free fishing. This is hands-free. You only need one with that. So I was looking to see what will be the maximum speed of the boat and how much water it would take to get there, but I feel like you're gonna have to go 100 on this craft. Right now we're clocking in at 5.7 miles an hour, 5.6. I saw briefly 6 miles an hour. It could be that is my position here where I'm sitting. Maybe I'm too far back, but this is kind of like optimal fishing location, right? You want to have space in front of you so you fish. 5.9, 5.9, 6 miles an hour, 6.2. I think I was faster with the NK300, which is the same motor that I have on the back, but it is the transom mount motor. For some reason it was faster than this one. This motor may be tilted though. That was crazy. I almost flipped. That was cuckoo crazy what I just did. I almost flipped. Let me go get my paddle. Let's go get the paddle and let's investigate to see what happened there, because I tried to turn quick for the camera. And I don't know what happened. I think my setup, like it may have turned the motor a little bit. Okay, see what I mean? This motor is sort of like, I need to tie this up more here because the motor was tilted. That could play a role on how fast we're going. Whew. The cool thing about the U10 is you get 360, bro. 360 seat. So you could go ahead and fix your issues. Like I could, like if I had this problem on the water and I have the tools, I could definitely fix it. Let's see if we could go in reverse, lowest speed. If I just give it low speed, it shouldn't tilt the motor and we could go in reverse. Get out of those spots, because this one doesn't have a reverse lock. This mount, the mount that you have with Newport vessel, does have a reverse lock. All right, that was nice. 5.8, 5.9. I'm getting the same speed that I got before, so and the motor's straight now, so that's not, I was hitting the maximum whole speed for that motor and the weight on this boat and the size of the boat. The other thing is that I don't see water. I don't see water coming in like we did with the NT300. So I'm asking myself, is the NT300 more powerful? Like, what's the difference? Okay, I think the difference may be the fact that the NT300 is actually has a longer shaft. I would say that the maximum speed for this setup for me is gonna be about 6 miles an hour. Realistically on the water it's gonna be from 5.5 to 6 miles an hour, which is a whole mile an hour faster than the NK180 Pro when I had it here on this boat. I think Andres hit like 5 miles an hour, close to that, give or take, but he's 150 pounds. Me, I think I maxed out a 4.5, like a real constant speed. I did see like a 4.8 once, but I wouldn't count that. I mean, I saw 6.2 here at one point, and I just don't trust that to be a real barometer. But so far, I feel like this motor is, for this craft, is better than the NK Professional, because you get a 1 mile an hour faster, and that to me is worth money. A lot. I could see myself on days that I don't want to deal with the weight of the battery, just taking the NK 180 Professional, but in this case, if you have it set up for this, it's not an easy swap. It's not an easy swap. There's some DIY work that you have to do to get it to work, and then you swapping them, unless you buy a second mount for the motor alone from NuCanoe and you can swap out. But it's not, it doesn't make sense to well, I guess none of this really makes sense, because you guys wouldn't have the two motors. I have it, so that's kind of like an Aliex problem. Guys, I got the happy glasses on. Look at this. These are Smith sunglasses. I like these because they're not like it's not the most expensive pair that they have, and they have the happy look, and I like how they look on me. So I'm gonna put an affiliate link down below if you want to check them out. If you do buy from that affiliate link, where I get a commission, but I mean, they're not paying me to say this, you know what I'm saying? So I only get paid if you do buy, if you like it, and only buy if you like it, you know. Of course, you would do that, right? So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.